My name is Atul Sarin. I'm the founder of Welfare for Animals in Goa, which is an NGO we set up in Goa about 15 years ago. I moved over here from the UK. I went for a walk in the monsoon to the beach, and in those days it was completely isolated in the monsoon. And the very same dogs that were always playing around in the season, a lot of them were starving. There was a lot of puppies dying. So I started a beach feeding program with one of my staff. But then it really dawned on me that the answer is sterilizations for good practice to stop the suffering. So that's how I started WAG. So we're a sanctuary as well as a rescue center. So we're quite unique in that we don't just house old animals that require food. A lot of them are injured, so some of them will require medical needs for 2 weeks, whether it's antibiotics, painkillers, wound cleaning. At the moment, we have 120 in-house rescues. We're unique because we try and rescue all sorts of species. So at the moment, we have obviously dogs, cats, one squirrel, we have pigeons, guinea fowl, ducks, parrots, budgies, goats. Sometimes we've had pigs as well. And often we even house wildlife until the forestry department gets here to pick them up. Sometimes that can take a day. So we've even had baby langurs, peacocks, mongooses as well. Each animal has different requirements. So if they're young animals, then they require feeding 4 to 5 times a day. Otherwise, all the other ones, they're fed twice a day. In the morning, we make a huge pilau for the dogs. We have 58 resident rescued dogs. And for the cows, is a separate pilau with non-dairy, of course, vegetarian. So it's very, very time-consuming, but it's worth it because it helps the animals, recover from the illnesses. So basically, finances are required, but a lot of knowledge and enthusiasm and passion which our staff have. Julie's about 17 years old, and she's a typical street dog, that older street dog that we are trying to build a home for. So the last 2 years, she spent her life under a car in a garage. People were just throwing some parley biscuits at her. So you can see the state of her. She's very malnourished, full of ticks and fleas. Unfortunately, what a lot of people don't realize is that with the older dogs, for example, if there's one that's come in with a broken leg, it then will require months for it to be, for the wound to be healed. And very often they forget their territory where they came from. Other dogs and humans will be hostile to them. So we are often landed up with a lot of adult dogs, and they're all beautiful, intelligent animals, and people don't realize that, some of them have been with us for 10 years, and it's a huge drain on our resources. However, what they all want at the end of the day, like we would, is a home. Life at the rescue center is similar to an orphanage for children. They all want a home. So unfortunately, we rely on private donations for all our funding. So the house we're sitting in now is one I purchased about when I arrived here. And then next to us, an old house came up for rental. So we decided to rent that, where we house up to 20 animals there. However, we now have an opportunity to purchase that house, which will then be connected to this house. And within that, we would like to house at least 20 older dogs, sort of have the first old pensioners doggy home, because we really feel that they deserve to have some dignity in the last few months or last few years of their life. And also to have a puppy fostering area, because shockingly, very, very few NGOs are taking in abandoned puppies simply because they don't have the resources. So hopefully we can set up those 2 projects, which will be a huge, big help for the animals of Goa. So we're starting to raise funds for it, but we're short of 1 crore. So we would request people, even if they can donate 10 rupees or 10 lakhs towards this fund, it will be fantastic. I hope one day we'll have a situation where there's not so many stray animals on the streets, where the cows have sanctuaries, goshalas, there's very few dogs on the streets, and all the dogs that exist and cats, they're all catered for and well looked after.